I lucky? I get to follow the teacher. Anyway, in getting my act together, as if that'll ever happen, it was hard to edit. I'm an attorney and I get paid by the word. I love being short and petite. I'll never have to look down on anybody. And I'll be cute when I'm 90. Look at that cute little 90-year-old lady going across the street. But it can get dicey when I'm in a crowded elevator, especially if you think about what I'm seeing at eye level. Ew. Good, you're laughing. My husband's laughing. He will not be sleeping in the garage tonight. People ask me, where'd you grow up? My answer, I haven't. I'm still working on it. I hate having a muffin top. You know that, otherwise known as a spare tire? Okay, thanks. I hate having a muffin top, otherwise known as a spare tire. I prefer the term muffin top because it's so much more upscale, so much more Starbucks. But it could come in handy as a flotation device in the event of a water evacuation. I bought a pair of those, tone-up, shape-up shoes, thinking that would help me get rid of my muffin top. Well, that was a silly idea because I'm clumsy and they made me even shakier. I have to tell you, I purposefully did not wear those shoes tonight because I figured if I was going to fall on my face, I didn't want to do it literally. I adore my husband, and I will adore him forever if he continues to laugh tonight. He makes me laugh, at least most of the time. He's from Mississippi, somewhere between so-so and hot coffee. Hot coffee is a place, not just a beverage. He grew up on a chicken farm, but he hated those chickens. Lucky for him, they had 2 prize dairy cows, Dottie Mae Louise and Dottie Jester Louise. Now, I read the other day in a magazine that, based on a study that was done in England, cows with names, not just numbers, produce 68 more gallons of milk over a 10-month period. Isn't that amazing? I'll bet you those 2 Dotties were very prolific. So he loved those cows so much, he traveled the state, or the country, judging dairy cows at state and county fairs. My favorite criterion, dairy character, or sex appeal and femininity. That included the length and the thickness of the eyelashes. Now, ladies, how many bucks have we spent on products to grow thicker or longer eyelashes? We could have been roaming pastures and munching on grass, or even smoking it. And then there's the size of the cow's teeth, and how firmly they're attached. How familiar does that sound? Some things never change. Now, my husband couldn't wait to leave the chicken farm in his rearview mirror when he turned 18. But his brother loved those chickens. He loved them so much, he got a PhD in chicken science and became a chicken professor at the Harvard of Chicken Schools, the University of Georgia. They were so successful, he and his colleagues, in genetically engineering chickens and turkeys that they developed a turkey with breasts so big she had to walk backwards because it was easier to pull him than push him. Not that I'd ever have that problem. I asked his brother the age-old question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? He looked at me and he said, the rooster, of course. We just got back from a visit to Georgia and Mississippi, where you really don't have to know or remember anybody's name because everybody goes by honey, darling, or sugar. On the way to Mississippi, we were going to the Mauldin family reunion. From Georgia, we stopped to get a breakfast biscuit. I asked the guy behind the counter, I said, are these biscuits made with lard? He looked at me, he said, of course they're made with lard. What else would we use to make biscuits? Damn Yankee. I looked at him, I said, Bubba, I'm going to live a hell of a lot longer as a damn Yankee than you are as a lard-eating redneck. So we went to Mississippi, we drove through hot coffee. I blinked, so I missed it. One of the things that bothers me, and this is probably the only serious thing I have to say, but one of the things that bothers me when I go to that area is the number of hypocrites that exist there. You know, so many of them are strict Southern Baptist, good Christian people. But after they tell you 5 or 6 racist fried chicken jokes, then it's like, oh, we better get to Popeyes before they run out of fried chicken, because that's what we're bringing to the family reunion. My sister-in-law is a native of Georgia. Bless her heart. She's hard to understand, so it's frustrating to be around her. My husband's brother's name is Joe. The last time I checked, Joe has 1 syllable. But when she says that his name, it's Joa. When she's really mad or wants to get his attention, it can have many more syllables. Joa, yoa, wa. She is so dramatic about it. Everything's melodrama. When she often pitches a hissy fit, sometimes a conniption fit, and I cannot figure out the difference in those two. When she says, y'all, I'm fixing to fix lunch, I'm looking around to see what's broken about lunch. But trying to understand her is not nearly as frustrating as my golf game. Oh, I'll tell you, golf, it's a 4-letter word. What in the golf am I doing chasing this hot pink ball around the course? While my friends and colleagues are out there breaking 100, sometimes 90, sometimes 80, I'm breaking down on the golf course. I often find myself looking for something fun to do after I play around the golf, like getting a root canal. But things are improving. Last week I broke 70 on 9 holes. And recently I won a $6.25 credit in the pro shop. And I can't wait to win another $6 so I can buy the other golf sock. When I told my friends that I was taking a stand-up comedy class, they said, you're kidding. And they thought for a few seconds, and they said, you know, you'd be good at it. You've got a good sense of humor. I grew up in a household where sense of humor was really important. My dad, rest his soul, was a true wit. His retirement calling card read, Jerry O'Neill, specializing in downright foolishness. Poetry for special occasions. Times are tough, but it could be verse. He was always full of witty, some would say corny remarks. One of my favorites, be true to your teeth or they will be false to you. And then there's my brother. My sister and I cannot figure out where he came from. He's friended Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh on Facebook. He sent me an email the other day. He sent me an email the other day. He and his wife were in Arkansas visiting her parents. And he was wondering whether putting his teeth in would be overkill. My husband's latest passion, more accurately obsession, is genealogy research. His new best friend is Ancestry.com. He took a DNA test and found out that a few generations back, his ancestors weren't Mauldins, they were Smiths. A little hanky-panky in the woodshed. He traced his ancestors to Elton John. His cousin wasn't a bit impressed. He traced his ancestors to Elvis Presley. And after all, King trumps Queen. I traced my dad's ancestors to the village of Gore in County Cork, Ireland. My idea of further detailed research would be to go over to the area and engage in a major pub crawl to find out all I needed to know about the O'Neills, those rabble-rousers. How many of you have a significant other or a spouse who has mastered the art of selective listening? Probably everybody in the room. Okay. All right, so there are some days when, no matter what I ask my husband, the answer is, sure. Yogurt for breakfast? Sure. 9 holes of golf today? Sure. Love me? Sure. Does this make me look fat? Sure. Have you received the divorce papers yet? Sure. But when I'm talking on the phone to a friend and I'm whispering as quietly as I can, something I don't want him to hear, I just bought 6 new pair of shoes at Dillard's today. What a bargain. You did what? Thank you very much. Yay!